And there are times that I feel like I hear her voice when she's not here, and it actually kind of freaks me out because I'm like, oh my God, I thought she was gone. I'm like, oh crap. And oh no, it's just you're hearing things. Everything's okay. But no, that's one thing that I have to say is a huge privilege. And again, because we have such a positive co-parenting situation. And I don't have to worry about her when she's gone. Like there's no concern for her health or safety or, attention or anything like that. But in terms of what would be easier, I think would be the handoff at night kind of thing. When I have her on weekday evenings, we usually go grocery shopping as something to do because we both kind of enjoy it. So, and it kills time or whatever, and it's time together. And then we come home and, make supper and hang out and play and watch a little bit of TV before bed. And that's it. And I kind of feel like some nights you're super tired and it would be nice to have somebody else help with bath time or whatever. Or even just to be there with you. Yeah. But even that I don't find is a big deal, and only because I know it's only 2 or 3 nights, maybe 4 nights in a row, and then I've got a break. So yeah, I don't, it's funny. I don't really know what would be easier. I can't think of something that would be easier if there were another parent here,
The whole, and it might, I mean, I know that there are other women who feel this way, but the whole handoff thing, even if Alex says, all right, I've got supper tonight, you go sit. Yeah. I am in the kitchen. Yeah. Because I can't.
You don't really shut off.
Let it go. Yeah. And even when I'm sick, I still get up in the morning and help get ready. Like help the kids get ready.
Is that guilt?
It is. Yeah. Yeah. He has no problem laying in bed, sleeping when he's homesick or if he has the day off or whatever. But I can't, even if I'm like dying. I have to. I
have a really cute story about about being that sick. So last week I was sick. We had the flu go through here, and her dad had it at his place, and like we were all down for the count for like 5 days straight, like between the 3 of us. And so she was sick on the weekend, and he started to not feel well, so I took her, and then a couple days later I got really sick. And so we're talking on Tuesday I started to get really sick, and it hit hard, and I was like I just couldn't anything. And she had hives that day for some reason, and so she wouldn't stay in bed. She was like bothered, right? Yeah. So anyway, so it's about like 8 or 9 at night, and I brought her to my bed, and she had already been sick, so I wasn't worried about her catching it again. And I was just it was awful. It was just awful. And anyway, so we ended up coming out to the living room, and I had a bucket out here, and I just could barely move. And I, at one point I was throwing up. Sorry, everybody. Anyways, I was thrown up, and I had my head down, and she came over, and she walked over to me, and she started to pet me on the head. Aww. It's okay, Mommy. Everything's okay, Mommy. It's okay, Mommy. And I said, oh, baby, thank you so much. You're great. And so then once I had like a moment of like, okay, I can move, I took the thing to the bathroom, and I didn't even have the wherewithal to like deal with it. I just put it in the bathroom and closed the door and came back to the living room. And a few minutes later, she disappears, and she went and got it. She put it next to me. She said, in the garbage, Mommy. It's okay. Mommy. And I was like, oh my gosh, she just turned into this like responsible little caring little nurse. So sweet. So sweet. And cute. Another great thing about that, I messaged him and I said, I'm in a bad way. And he came and got her at 10 o'clock at night. So I could just like be in bed for the next 2 days, Well, he knew how bad it was because he had it already. Yeah. But yeah, but so sweet. Oh my God, she was so sweet. I wish I had it on well, not all of it. I wish I had her on camera.
I know. Some of that. Yeah. That's cute. That's one thing. Like when they were younger, we all got sick quite a bit because they were in daycare and got everything.
Yeah.
And it was okay when one of us was sick at a time like that. Mm-hmm. But when two of us were down at the same time, it was awful. And the kids were fine. Like, they get it first, and then it comes to us, and they're fine. Oh, man. There were times that I was just like, I don't even know what to do.
Yeah. I believe that, because I couldn't function that night. Yeah. I couldn't. And she was up, and she wasn't going to bed anytime soon. And I was just thinking, like, what are my options here?
Yeah.
I couldn't. I just couldn't deal with it. I can't imagine both of you being sick with multiple children.
I know.
And nowhere to send them.
Yeah. But we got through it. We survived.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was, I just cut myself.
Why did you just cut yourself? You were just scratching your eye.
I just noticed really it probably happened a while, but anyway. On my memories on Facebook, it must have been like November or something. I was pregnant with Penny, and Alex was sick. Or no, he just broke his hand. And I had made supper, but I didn't have the energy to clean it up. Mm-hmm. So he had dishes everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was just like, can somebody please come to our house and clean it up, because I am so uncomfortable and Alex has a broken hand.
Right.
Oh, it was bad.
That would be hard. I find that really hard. I find it really difficult to relax when things are a mess.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Yeah. I did. Like, I was always a neat freak. Alex called me Monica. And like before we had kids, we rented his aunt's house, and every Saturday I'd wake up early and just start cleaning the entire house.
Really?
And he'd just be like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you're going to help me, because this is your place too. This isn't my job to clean this house. Mm-hmm. So eventually, like, he's gotten in the groove of doing it, because before he didn't. Like, he lived with a roommate who had a girlfriend who did the cleaning. And she was fine doing it, so he didn't have to do anything. Wow. Before that, he lived with his mom.
No thanks, man. I would not do that for my boyfriend and his roommate. No way.
So, but now he's like the complete opposite and Nazi when it comes to cleaning. Anyway. Yeah. But after, like, I could handle it when we had Kirby, and the house was tidy, and it was hard, but we still did it, and it was good because we'd keep it tidy. But after Penny, I just like threw my hands in the air. I was like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, what else?
What are some things that you think work really well? But I think we kind of covered
that. We've talked about a lot of that, yeah.
What do you admire about the other?
About the other parent or the other situation?
Married or single. I think we kind of talked about that too.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I've always really considered it a privilege to have the time I have with her, you know, like to not have to share those moments and stuff. Like I remember thinking that a lot when she was under a year old, like, God, I'm so lucky that I don't have to share this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, other than when she wasn't with me, when she was with him, but like to share in the home, I was really happy to just have her to myself, and to not, I think I would have been more stressed out. That's not the right phrase, but more tired or easily annoyed or irritable, I guess, if there were someone else here. Because if the house wasn't tidy, or she was upset, or something or other, it was on me to deal with it.
Right.
So I didn't have anybody else to blame or point the finger at but myself, or to take over but myself.
Yeah.
Whereas if there was someone else here and something wasn't being done, I might have gotten, because of the fatigue and everything, I might have gotten annoyed with that person.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than just like, you know, because I was really fine when she was an infant. I was really tidy and happy, and I really wasn't that tired. But I think I would have been annoyed with somebody if they had been here and not doing the same things as me. I don't know if that's weird or not, but I felt really privileged. However, at the same time, I didn't get to share any of it with somebody, you know, like, so I was happy not to, but at the same time, I didn't get to have those moments where like, oh my God, did you just see that? Or anything, you know? So pros and cons, I guess, to the very same thing, but I do admire the getting to share it with somebody, in as much as I was happy to not have to share it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel that way now too. Like, you know, like her dad and I will share photos or videos every now and then of something that was really particularly cute or whatever, but not very frequently. And that's cool with me. But, and it's not that I particularly want that dynamic of her father and I.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to, you know, to have somebody to observe and to witness all the cool stuff she does. Yeah. Yeah,
I see that.
Yeah.
I thought of something when you were talking.
I know, I saw it happen and I kept talking.
That's all right. Yeah, when they were younger, and I mean, I've gotten way better as far as, and I have thoughts and then think of other things.
I hear you.
So when they were younger, I did get annoyed a lot. And I would express my annoyance. Because there would be things like, well, I was up all night and now I have to clean the house kind of thing.
Right.
And it was annoying because I was on maternity leave and he was at work all day away from the chaos, and I did all of the things at home, but then there's like some days I didn't do anything. Right. And he had to go to work. And I just got to sit home and hold a baby.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and you know what, as tiring, and this is my experience, as tiring as the infant stage is, it's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, when you only have one.
It is, and maybe until like 6 months when they start getting into everything.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, for sure. But like newborn stage was easy.
Yeah.
It was, you know,
it was almost kind of boring.
Yeah, totally. Like, you don't get a ton of sleep, but you don't really need it because, I mean, well, we're privileged here. We get to have maternity leave, right? You know, most of us do. But yeah, it's like, well, I don't have to get dressed or see anybody or do anything, but maybe wash a couple of bottles if she's bottle fed or whatever, you know? Like,
yeah.
I was really surprised at that because I was like, wow, this is actually pretty easy. But it changes. It's getting more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
also more entertaining.
2.5, 3, 4, it does get difficult because they challenge you. They want to push their limits and see how far you'll let them go and what they can get away with. And
which again makes me grateful that I have 50-50 shared parenting, because I would be a lot less patient if I had her all the time.
It is hard. And even people say, or I've heard people say, and I thought it myself, that it got easier as they get older, but it's the same. Like, you have that same feeling where, like, recently, I don't know if we talked about this or not, but the kids just kind of gave up on chores. None of them were doing any of them. Right. And I lost my shit. Yeah. I had had enough. And it was like 3 days in a row that the first day I yelled because I was like, this is it. I've had enough. I am not doing this anymore. You guys haven't done anything and I am done. And the next day, like, the dog didn't get fed, and it was Kendalyn's day to feed the dog or something. And then I had to do it, or whatever it was. I can't remember. And the second that I noticed that it wasn't done, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I just screamed at you yesterday for this thing, and you're still not doing it. So then I sit down and I'm having a conversation with them, explaining, like, we work so hard for you guys, and we do absolutely everything for you. All of our money, all of our time, everything is for you. Like, we don't go out. We don't do anything. We don't go on dates. If we do, it's a rare occasion.
Yeah.
And